Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to Podcast Vault, your ultimate destination for the best audiobooks and insightful podcasts. We're working hard to bring you the most engaging and high-quality book audio experiences so you can enjoy knowledge and stories anytime, anywhere. If you love what we do, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends. It really helps us grow. Stay tuned for amazing content. And thank you for being a part of our podcast family. Happy listening.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we like to take your sources and kind of pull out like the most important insights and give you almost like a shortcut to becoming really informed without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So this time you've shared with us excerpts from the audiobook of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Pretty compelling stuff, right?
Definitely. I think, these aren't just like words on a page. It represents a personal journey that you're kind of considering embarking on.
Exactly.
And our goal in this deep dive is to uncover the fundamental transformation and understand those profound lessons that the story offers.
Yeah.
And it really follows this path of a successful lawyer, right,
Yeah.
who seeks out a very different kind of fulfillment.
So we meet John, a lawyer, seemingly at the top of his game, but definitely paying a huge price for it. He's totally stressed, exhausted, and his physical health is actually like seriously suffering
Yeah.
to the point where his doctor gives him a pretty stark warning.
Right.
And then we have Julian Mantle, John's former colleague,
Yeah.
also a super high-powered lawyer,
Yeah.
who has undergone this almost unbelievable transformation.
Right.
He sold everything, traveled to India, and returned looking decades younger and radiating this sense of peace and energy.
Yeah. It's quite a turnaround.
It's a total turnaround, the kind that makes you go, huh, how did he do that?
How is that possible? Yeah.
What was so powerful that made him decide to make such a dramatic shift in his life?
What's really captivating is that it wasn't just professional burnout. It was
Right.
actually like a deeper spiritual unease,
Right.
He recognized that in his relentless pursuit of success, he kind of emptied other vital areas of his life, his well-being, his happiness, his sense of self.
Yeah.
And that ultimatum from his doctor was really a wake-up call,
Yeah.
to confront this fundamental choice about his future.
So he chooses this path of radical change,
Yeah.
which leads him to India,
Right.
a place rich in ancient traditions that had always intrigued him.
Yes.
So he's looking for something way beyond courtroom battles and material possessions. What stands out to you about his time in India? What are some of the most significant moments?
Well, it seems like his journey to India was a really profound process of rediscovery.
Mm-hmm.
Stripped of the trappings of his former life, he starts to reconnect with this vitality and sense of wonder that he'd kind of lost touch with over the years, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a change of scenery. It was like this active immersion into a totally different way of living and thinking.
Yeah.
Almost a quest to rediscover his authentic self
Yeah.
and to find like a deeper meaning in life.
And that quest leads him to Yogi Krishnan.
Yes.
Interestingly, another former lawyer
Right.
who traded his super busy city life for the quietude of a temple.
Right.
What role would you say Krishnan played in Julian's transformation?
I think Krishnan serves as this like crucial mentor figure, because he had experienced a very similar disillusionment
No.
with the demands of, modern professional life. He could really understand Julian's deep longing for something more genuine. And importantly, he introduces Julian to the idea that there's a structured system for personal growth.
Okay.
He hints at this secluded group of sages in the Himalayas who possess this profound wisdom.
Wow. So this is what sparks Julian's next, even more challenging pursuit.
Right. This is like the next level.
Mystical sages in the Himalayas. It sounds like something out of a storybook or a myth.
Yeah, it's a pretty compelling image.
He hears these whispers of monks who have achieved this incredible longevity and this mastery over their minds.
Yes.
They've reached this spiritual awakening, and he becomes determined to find them, even though there are all of these obstacles in his path.
It seems like the difficulty of the search really emphasizes the value that Julian placed on this potential knowledge.
Yeah.
The Himalayas are portrayed as this formidable and really unforgiving landscape.
Yeah.
And the sages are hidden intentionally from the outside world.
Wow.
Yet Julian's intense desire to learn and evolve propels him forward, right?
Absolutely.
It speaks to this deep recognition within him that something vital is missing. A void that, conventional success couldn't fill.
Right.
Yeah.
And against all odds,
Yeah,
he finds them.
he does.
He encounters one of the sages who recognizes the sincerity of his quest and welcomes him into their hidden community, this village called Savannah.
Right.
But there's a pretty significant condition attached to this acceptance.
There is a promise
Right.
that is asked for.
Yeah.
That after learning these timeless truths, Julian will return to the Western world
Right.
and share this wisdom with others who are seeking it.
Okay, so despite their secluded existence,
Right.
these Sunjis are aware of the struggles and anxieties of the wider world.
They are.
And they believe that their teachings can offer some practical guidance and hope.
Yes, they do.
So Julian steps into this almost ethereal world of Savannah,
Yes.
where the sages seem untouched by age, filled with this youthful energy and serenity.
Right.
And he becomes a dedicated student under the guidance of Yogi Raman. It really paints a picture of a life centered on this inner peace and harmony, so different from the high-octane world that he left behind.
It's like a complete 180.
Total 180.
Yeah.
So Savannah represents this sanctuary,
Yeah.
where priorities shift from external achievements to this internal development.
Right.
It's a space designed for profound learning and adopting these principles that really prioritize inner well-being and deep calm.
Yeah, it's a space for true transformation.
This really sets the stage for the core wisdom that Julian ends up sharing.
Right. Lays the foundation.
All right, so Julian, now transformed, radiating this newfound wisdom, starts to unpack these key principles that he learned from the sages.
Yeah.
And the first of these is the garden, which is all about mind control.
Right.
Let's dig into what that actually means.
So the analogy of the mind as a garden, I think, is so insightful.
Yeah.
It highlights this crucial need to actively cultivate our thoughts and protect ourselves from negative thinking, which is likened to weeds that can choke the life out of our potential.
So essentially what you're saying is our minds are like this fertile ground,
Exactly.
and we need to be very careful about what we plant in it.
Right, and what we allow to grow there.
Exactly. What's fascinating is this idea that most of us are operating on just a fraction of our actual mental capacity.
Yeah, there's so much more potential there.
Right. And through disciplined practices, the sages developed this extraordinary control over their minds.
Yes, they mastered their minds.
Suggesting that we too have these vast, untapped mental resources.
Yeah, we all have that potential within us.
It's mind-blowing.
It is.
It's like our brains are constantly generating these thoughts.
Yeah, a constant internal monologue.
Right. So learning to observe and intentionally direct that monologue is like the essence of mind control.
It's about becoming the master of your own mind.
Right. And the key takeaway here is that our external reality is basically a reflection of our internal thoughts.
Exactly.
So by controlling our thoughts, we can shape our destiny.
Yeah, it's about moving from being a passive recipient of thoughts to an active director. It's so empowering.
It is. It's about taking control.
It's a total shift from feeling like you're at the mercy of your thoughts and emotions to becoming this conscious architect of your inner world.
Right. You're not just a passenger, you're the driver.
And it emphasizes how much power our mental state has on how we experience and interact with the world around us.
It affects everything.
Next up, we have Blueprint, which focuses on the power of imagination.
Yes, the power to create.
This concept of creating things twice first in our minds is really interesting.
It's about harnessing that creative potential that we all have within us.
Yeah.
So blueprinting involves vividly imagining the outcomes we desire with this powerful sense of expectation.
Right.
The idea is that by clearly picturing what we want to achieve, we actually begin to activate this dormant potential and start to draw those visions into our reality.
Well, it's almost like we're running a mental simulation.
Yeah, kind of like a mental rehearsal.
Of the future you want to create.
And, this connects to that quote from Patanjali about inspiration leading to expanded consciousness and unlocking potential.
Right.
How do you see that link playing out?
Well, Patanjali's quote really beautifully captures the transformative power of having a compelling vision.
Right.
When we're truly inspired by a goal or a possibility, our minds naturally break free from these perceived limitations. And we gain access to abilities and insights that we didn't even know we had.
Yeah.
So the act of vividly imagining a desired future fuels this inspiration, right?
Yeah.
And it creates this powerful force that propels us toward realizing that potential.
Then we move on to the interconnected concepts of concentration and purpose.
Yes, two sides of the same coin.
This idea that simply having a desire means that we also have the capacity to achieve it, but that laser focus is the key.
Right. Desire is the fuel, but focus is the engine.
That really resonates, especially in today's world where there are so many distractions.
Concentration is presented as the bedrock of mental mastery.
Right.
Without the ability to focus our attention, our mental energy is scattered and ultimately ineffective.
Right. It's like trying to hit a target with a shotgun instead of a rifle.
Exactly.
This principle also emphasizes how important it is to align our actions with our passions.
Yes. Doing what you love.
And ensuring that our pursuits actually contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
Right. Making a difference in the world.
So this recurring theme of connecting personal fulfillment with service to others is huge.
It's a key theme throughout the book.
And this pursuit of what truly resonates with us and this act of serving others, that's directly linked to waking up with genuine energy and enthusiasm.
Absolutely. It's about finding that inner spark.
Purpose essentially acts as this powerful internal engine.
It fuels our passion and drive.
Exactly. When we're driven by a clear sense of purpose and actively engaged in things that we find meaningful and align with our values, we naturally experience this greater sense of vitality and enthusiasm.
Right. We feel more alive.
Our thoughts become more directed.
Yes.
And the tendency towards worry diminishes because our attention is drawn toward these meaningful goals.
It's about shifting our focus from anxiety to purpose.
So Julian also talks about these energy leaks and the practice of regularly stepping outside of our comfort zones.
Yes, two important concepts.
How do these seemingly different ideas contribute to personal mastery?
Well, worry is identified as a significant drain on our mental and emotional energy.
Okay.
It's this constant leak that depletes our reserves.
So it's like having a hole in your gas tank.
Exactly.
You're constantly losing fuel.
And venturing beyond our comfort zones is crucial for lasting mastery over our mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
It's through these intentional challenges that we grow and expand our capabilities.
It's like stretching a muscle.
Exactly. It might be uncomfortable at first, but it's essential for growth.
This then logically leads into the importance of daily contemplation and reflection.
Yes, taking time for introspection.
Even dedicating like 10 minutes a day to focused silence can have a profound impact.
Absolutely. Even a small amount of time can make a big difference.
Daily reflection gives us this invaluable opportunity to assess our progress, reconnect with our purpose, and identify areas where we might need to adjust course.
It's a chance to pause and reflect on our journey.
And even a brief period of focused introspection can cultivate greater self-awareness.
Yes, and lead to positive change.
Then there's the heart of the rose.
A beautiful technique.
A very specific and evocative technique for training the mind through concentrated attention on a single beautiful object.
It's about focusing intently on a fresh rose in a tranquil setting.
So basically, you're training your mind to become more focused and less susceptible to distractions.
Exactly. It's a form of mental discipline.
And then a technique called opposition thinking.
A powerful tool for shifting our mindset.
This conscious effort to replace any negative thought that comes up with a more positive one.
It's about interrupting those negative thought patterns.
He even uses prayer beads as a tool for this practice.
Yes, a tangible reminder to shift our focus.
So the prayer beads act as a physical anchor.
Exactly.
Okay, then there's the secret of the lake.
Harnessing the power of visualization.
This practice of creative visualization while looking at still water at dawn.
It's about tapping into the power of our subconscious mind.
The core idea here is that the mental pictures we hold actually affect our self-image and our outcomes.
Our thoughts create our reality.
It's about creating this compelling mental blueprint of the future we want.
Exactly.
And finally, in this set of principles, we have serving others, which he calls kindling the inner fire.
Yes, giving back to others.
This profound idea that by contributing to the well-being of others, we actually elevate our own lives.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness.
Serving others is presented not just as an altruistic act,
Right.
it is a fundamental pathway to our own fulfillment and joy.
It's about finding meaning and purpose through helping others.
It's beautifully illustrated with this metaphor of being a captain who shares this wisdom with those in need.
A leader who guides others towards a better life.
It emphasizes the responsibility that comes with understanding these principles.
It's a call to action.
So all of these principles lay the groundwork for this mystical fable that Julian then shares.
Right, the fable of the 7 virtues.
Which encapsulates these 7 virtues for living an enlightened life.
A roadmap to a fulfilling life.
And the first of these, returning full circle, is the extraordinary garden.
Back to the foundation.
Reinforcing the importance of the mind and the need to cultivate it carefully.
Right, tending to our mental garden.
This virtue serves as a constant reminder that inner peace depends on nurturing positive thoughts.
And weeding out negativity.
Then we have the lighthouse.
A symbol of purpose.
The idea that having a clear purpose in life acts as this guiding beacon.
He illuminates our path.
The lighthouse analogy illustrates the vital role of clearly defined goals, or dharma.
Our unique purpose in life.
And it emphasizes that contentment comes from aligning ourselves with our dharma and using our talents to serve others.
It's about finding our calling and making a difference.
And what's interesting is that setting those clear goals is seen as a way to release our creative energy.
It gives our creativity a direction.
Next in the fable is the sumo wrestler, which represents the principle of Kaizen,
Continuous self-improvement.
the concept of constant and never-ending improvement of our inner world.
Always striving to be better.
Kaizen underscores that inner growth is absolutely essential for any positive change in the outer world.
Right, it starts from within.
And courage is highlighted as a key attribute for self-leadership.
Having the strength to face our fears.
It empowers us to push beyond our limitations, and fear is presented as this conditioned response that we can learn to overcome.
We can train ourselves to be courageous.
The analogy of putting the person back together to fix the world is really powerful.
It's about personal responsibility.
It's this beautiful encapsulation of the idea that real change in the world starts with our own internal transformation.
We have to fix ourselves before we can fix the world.
Then we have the pink wire cable, which symbolizes discipline and willpower.
The strength to resist temptation.
Self-control strengthens us.
It gives us the power to achieve our goals.
The pink wire cable analogy shows how willpower is like a strong cable made of many strands.
Each strand represents a small act of discipline.
Willpower allows us to keep our commitments.
And live a more fulfilling life.
Self-control reduces worry and increases our energy.
It frees us from negative habits.
And the mantra, I am more than I appear to be. All the world's strength and power rest inside me.
It's a powerful affirmation.
Next up, the shiny gold stopwatch.
The preciousness of time.
Representing time management and recognizing that time is a precious resource.
Time is our most valuable asset.
The stopwatch symbolizes time consciousness
Being mindful of how we spend our time.
and managing it effectively by focusing on our priorities.
Doing the most important things first.
The ancient rule of 20-80% of our results come from 20% of our activities.
It's about focusing on the vital few.
This virtue also highlights saying no to unimportant things and simplifying our lives.
Decluttering our lives to make space for what matters.
And this concept of a deathbed mentality is pretty powerful.
It helps us appreciate the present moment.
It encourages us to live each day to the fullest.
Exactly.
Following that, we have the fragrant yellow roses,
The beauty of the present moment.
representing living in the now and savoring the journey.
Enjoying the ride.
The roses remind us to fully experience and appreciate each moment.
Being present and mindful.
Engaging in challenging and meaningful pursuits brings satisfaction.
It gives our lives purpose.
And gratitude is a powerful practice for enhancing our awareness of the present moment.
It helps us focus on the good.
And the story of Peter and the magic thread warns us against sacrificing the present for the future.
Don't put off living for tomorrow.
Live today.
Yes.
And finally, the last virtue, the path of diamonds,
The ultimate purpose.
representing service to others and living with joy in the present.
A life of meaning and fulfillment.
It reinforces that a joyful life comes from living in the now and savoring it fully.
Embrace the present moment.
It connects back to Julian's promise to share this wisdom
Spreading the light.
and emphasizes that the quality of our lives depends on our contribution to others.
Making a positive impact on the world.
It encourages us to perform daily acts of kindness
Small acts of love.
and shift our perspective to see ourselves as interconnected parts of a whole
We're all in this together.
with a purpose to contribute meaningfully.
Leaving the world a better place.
And the concept of nirvana as this state of enlightenment,
The ultimate goal.
and Yogi Raman's story of the Taj Mahal
A testament to human potential.
illustrate that a life overflowing with wonder and meaning
A life well lived.
is built day by day through these small, consistent acts of positive change.
It's a journey of continuous growth.
As we bring this deep dive into The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari to a close,
It's been an enlightening journey.
what would you say are the absolute key takeaways for you and for our listener?
I think the central insights are the power of our minds, the importance of purpose, the journey of self-improvement, the force of discipline and willpower, the awareness of time, the joy of the present moment, and the satisfaction of serving others.
These principles, presented within the context of Julian's transformation, really resonate with those universal desires
Yeah.
for knowledge, personal growth, and a life with more meaning.
Absolutely.
It prompts you to reflect on your own life and where you might want to focus your energy.
It's a call to self-reflection.
And it's important to remember that embracing these principles isn't about making huge overnight changes.
Right?
It's about those small, consistent rituals.
Little steps every day.
So listener, take a moment to consider which of these ancient secrets resonates most with you right now. And what is one small daily ritual you could start implementing today
That's a powerful question.
to embark on your own unique journey toward a more radiant life?
A journey of transformation.
Thanks for sharing these sources with us and for letting us take this deep dive with you.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this exploration has sparked some valuable insights and a desire for continued personal discovery.
May your journey be filled with purpose and joy.